Hello, y'all on YouTube. This is Rob with Rob's Nerdy Knives. Today we have a very special review impressions of a knife I've had for a while. We're going to look at the TRM Neutron in the skin, the lizard skin titanium scales. All right, today we're reviewing and doing a long-term impressions of the TRM Neutron. This is made by TRM Three Rivers Manufacturing, or Three Rivers Manufacturing. They're a knife company making knives here in the USA. Beautiful, beautiful knife. I got a chance to buy one of these. I have a TRM Atom right now that I love, and I've had an Atom for a very, very long time and enjoy the knife. Here's my Atom so you can compare. And then here's the Neutron. All right, so first of all, let's talk about the company. So first of all, the knife manufacturer, or the knife name, sorry, is the Neutron. The larger one is the Atom. The smaller one is the Neutron. So this is the Neutron, this is the Atom, okay? And the knife manufacturer is TRM. That's Les and Marianne. They're the ones who own the company, and I've met them at Blade shows. Really, really wonderful people. And there's a bunch of people that work for them and their staff because, you know, they've been making knives a long time, really quality USA-made knives. So really, I'm very supportive of the knife community, by the way. They've given me a couple of knives to give away, and I'm just totally humbled by that. Just really amazing people. So I just want you to know that. They support my channel. They've supported many other channels. So just really good people. The designer, I believe, is Les, is who primarily designs these. I don't know if he gets input from Marianne or people in the shop, but I kind of consider, unless I know otherwise, Les is the designer of everything. And I love the Atom. This was the first knife that I ever had, and had this a long time. Actually owned, I think, about 4 of these over the years. This is my last one, the latest one I have. This is the Mike Irie hollow grind. You could have gotten that one and this one as well. I didn't get it at the time because I really carry my Atom most. The Neutron is really, really cool. I had it in my collection. I bought it because I felt like it was a good size. It does fit well. I just don't carry it. I've actually really never carried it. I've had it. It's in my case. It's cool. I love it, but I don't carry it. The one I carry all the time is my Atom, and I love that one. And you know my rule is if I don't carry it, it's a catch and release. So this will probably end up being catch and release because I haven't used it. I haven't carried it. Now, I did put these O-rings on there. These were from another knife that I put on there, and you don't have to have them on there. I put them on there because they fit really well, make it a little more comfortable to deploy. Right, so you know, and this is a smaller knife, so if you find it a little more challenging to work with, definitely go for the Atom. But the Neutron's amazing. It might still be too big for you, and if it is, they have a thing called a Holy Nerd. That's a really even smaller knife. My wife has one of those. So the materials: titanium scales. It's titanium liners. Now the way the scales work, this is what they do really cool. It's a little bit like Nav's knives, what they do with their knives, but this is very much the premium version. And they're the OG, if you will, right? The original Goat. You take these 2 screws off, the scale comes off. You take these, there's 2 screws here, and then of course the clip, you take that off, they come up, you can swap them out. I actually have a set of red fat carbon fiber scales that I could put on here, on my Atom, anytime I wanted to. So they're swappable, which is really nice if you like to swap them out. The liners are titanium, the scales are titanium, the clip is titanium. All that is titanium, and I'll show you. Titanium. The only thing that's steel is going to be the blade, and that's where it sticks, right? So all that is titanium, which makes this knife relatively light. It's super thin profile, super thin blade. We'll measure this here in a second. How does it open? Thumb studs. Thumb studs work beautifully, both front and reverse flick, and it works both left and right-handed, right? So what I really love about this knife is that because it's a liner lock, you can use it left or right-handed. The clip is only right hand only. I think they've been doing some left hand. I know like the Bulldog, they did some left-handed ones, which is a knife that was given to the channel to give away. So I don't know when you see this video, I may have already given that away, or I may be coming up to give it away. So there you go. This is a really cool knife. I've liked these over the years. Now this right here has 3 standoffs, but in this particular knife, they did include, originally it came with, let me see if I can find it. It's over here in my stuff. Yeah, there was a backspacer, this G10. They offer that now, and you can put that on there. That's what came with this, but I also wanted the titanium standoffs and compare the 2. This is really nice as well. Now, I believe the 2 are very different. Let's see here. Aren't they the different sizes? I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So you can see the screws don't match up perfectly between the Atom and the Neutron. So it's not interchangeable. You'd have to get a backspacer for the Atom separately. but it's pretty nice. If you like a full back spacer, there's definitely those options you can buy it with it. This one I happen to have both. This is the newer clip. This is their old traditional clip that they had. It's kind of like a Spyderco kind of clip. You see that? Where it's not super deep carry. And if you don't like super deep carry, you might really enjoy this clip. This is the very deep carry, almost fully hidden in your pocket. So that's really nice. Titanium clip as well. Very flexible. Works really great going in and out of the pocket. So you've got a little pocket lint from my jeans that have been torn to shreds from some really tough knife clips in the past. All right, so thumb studs. It closes with the liner lock right there. Nice cutaway, beautiful chamfered, easy access. You come here and you drop, and it does go down. As this knife breaks in, it almost gets like caged bearing drop shut, right? So this one's just about there where it's perfect. I mean, it's been hardly carried. I've only opened it and taken it out. Now this one you can see I carry a whole lot more, and this one already drop shuts nicely. So. And this one also has the newer thumb studs. That's another thing they sometimes offer is the newer thumb studs that you could put on there as well. These are the older ones. So I think they offer both, right? This one happens to be in Magnacut. They have some other steels, 20 CV they've used over the years. I had a 20 CV Atom for the longest time. Loved it. It was a great knife, right? So really, really enjoyed that one. Here, let's... I think I got a little dust in here in the bag, so let me just wipe that off. There we go. Little dust getting in there. All right. Mostly that's probably from my case. Some of the foam and the dust going in and out, because I'd take it out and flip it, and then I'd put it back in. That's all I do with this knife. I haven't really cut anything, used it for anything at all. It's yeah, it's like new in the box. It's totally unused, so it'd be a great deal for somebody who buys it. All right. The blade is fantastic, beautiful edge, nice and evenly sharpened. Can definitely shave with this guy. It's really wonderful. So that's wonderful. All right, any finishing coating? No, there's not. Is there a lanyard loop? Nope, not in this one. So not really made for a lanyard loop, which to me is fine. I don't think most of them have that. Maybe one or two might, but this one doesn't. So I like that. All right, the blade, it's a beautiful drop point. Really sharp, really thin, and very edgy. Polished stone wash, which they do really outstanding job. I love that because it does keep a lot of the, as you use the knife, you don't see the wear and tear on there if you have a really polished edge. So let's do some measurements on this guy. How much does this guy weigh here? All right, so we're looking at a 3.2 ounce knife. That's with the scales. I think with the fat carbon, it is way lighter. So I mean, there is that. All right, so let's measure the length of this particular knife. The knife is just right at 7 inches, maybe a 16th or a 32nd past it, just barely. All right, the overall grip, if you go from right here to here, you got about right here to here, you got about 3.5. If you go to here, all the way 3.25. If you do the choke up position, you definitely got 4 to 4.25 of a grip. So I've got big hands, large hands with meaty fingers. So this is about the same size of a extra large hand with regular size fingers, double extra large hands with smaller, skinnier fingers. Right? It's about where you're going to grip. Likewise, I said that was 7 inches. Now let's look at the Atom, just so you can compare the two in the size. This is just a bit over 8 inches, and the grip area that you get total here is like 4 3/4, 4 5/8. So it's a lot more there. Okay, just so you keep that in mind. Overall cutting length from the tip to the back of the handle is right at 3 inches. So know your state and local knife laws, right? Overall cutting length is going to be 2 7/8. So that's the overall cutting length. Whereas this one over here, if we were to compare it, this one would be 3.5 to just over 3 1/4, so 3 maybe and 3/8 or something around there. So if you were to compare the two, I mean, very similar knives, just different in size, different, same titanium texture, a little different in the clip. This one has a hole. This one is a little smaller, a little stubbier. This is because it's a little smaller. So there you go. But everything is just about the same. This particular one happens to have the Mike Irie hollow grind, which is a custom grind that you can get. Mike Irie, he does some hollow grinds for some really custom knives as well. He's known for his hollow grinds, really phenomenal, and it is really phenomenal. I'll just tell you that. So if you wanted to compare the two, we really could, right? This could be a review of both in a way. Fantastic. Phosphor bronze washers, not caged bearings. This one happens to have the volcano type studs. This one has the round with you could put a little O-ring on there, or if you like to have a little sharper edge to grab, it works as well. All right, so let's do the blade stock thickness while we're at it. We'll compare the two. Why don't we just compare the two so you guys can just see, what really is the difference here. All right, so the blade stock thickness on the TRM Neutron is 91 thousandths of an inch. You go here to the dead center, 91 thousandths of an inch. All right, so let's look at the atom. We're at 90 thousandths of an inch, and go right here. We're at 90.5 thousandths of an inch. So they're almost identical. Actually, technically, that would be a tad thicker, but that would make sense because this one did get a hollow grind, and they might have polished this a little bit more. So there you go. So just knowing that it's a slicer, it's definitely going to be a slicer. It's going to come out to a nice thin edge, especially this one with the hollow grind. But this one's going to be a great slicer too. And I can attest to that when I had the non-hollow grind of the Atom that I used for everything. Really phenomenal. I had, I think, 3 before this. And the first one, that's the one I used the most. And then I bought another one, and then I sold that one. Anyways, over the years. So... because I didn't like it, I liked it, I didn't like it. I ended up knowing I like it, I've used it for a long time. So this is one of those knives that stayed in my collection for a very long time. All right, purpose, EDC hard use collection. Oh wait, before we do that, knife category, what are we talking about? All right, so the Mike Irie hollow grind is going to be expensive. This is over $500 for sure. So this is definitely into that higher end, the high end of the higher end knife for sure. And then this one right here is going to be about $385 in Magnacut. I think it's $360, maybe $350 if you get the 20 CV. But you're still into the lower end, but you're still in the higher end knife, especially with the titanium. If you get the non-titanium, there definitely will bring you down to the regular price, get you just under $300. So that is very possible with these, which is a phenomenal price when you think about it. It really is. Yeah, if you get the fat carbon, then I think you're right just past 300, so you're, lower. This was 385. This one was 550, 560. I can't remember. I want to say, I knew it was 500 something, right? So, but that's what you're looking at. It is USA made. Everything costs more in the USA. You can say, well, I can get myself a Civivi. Well, it's not made in the USA. It's a production. This is a small batch. This is USA made with a small group. I would call this mid-tech. This is definitely mid-tech. I wouldn't call it custom. Definitely call this mid-tech, right? All right, so is this an EDC hard use collection piece? These absolutely could be collection pieces. Totally get it. Sometimes they're safe queens for people, but anything in my collection that I have, I carry, except for my dad's knife from before World War II. That's the only safe queen I have because it's almost 100 years old and it's meaningful, right? Everything else I carry, no matter what. Even if I love the knife, I'm going to carry it. I'm going to enjoy it. Now, I may not go abuse and beat it up. I may take very good care of it and have a secondary backup knife, but absolutely both of these would be carried. I just didn't carry this one because I always carried this one. You can't even hardly tell that I carried this one, used this quite a bit because they're made so well, you can't even see that. So it's wonderful. All right. Hard use. Both of those could be very much hard use. It's a thinner blade stock, so don't be prying, doing stuff like that. Have the right tool for the right job. If you're going to do that, get a pry bar or use a fixed blade or an axe, whatever, right? But don't use that. But it is a liner lock. It does engage well. There's no blade play. It's in there nice and solid as far as the knife goes. So you have full engagement as far as the knife is concerned, right? So it's nice and solid. You're not worrying with that. You don't have any pivot play because you do have a phosphor bronze washers. And then let's listen to that D10. It's very soft on this one, but you can hear, well, you know why? It's because of the O-rings. So if that bothers you, let me take them off, and then we'll hear a little bit better. Ready? Okay, let's do it one more time. Get a little closer here. You hear that? We'll do it open like this. All right, so that, and let's listen to the D10 on this guy. All right, let's do it backwards over here. Let's do it here. So definitely the D10 ball going in there, engaging, locks up well. This is a titanium lock bar. It's been carbonized at the very end. So I would avoid getting oil on there. They say to use very light oil. I put very little, if I take it apart and I polish the phosphor bronze washers, which is something you better know what you're doing when you do something like this because you don't want to mess the geometry up, right? But if you do that, just don't use a whole lot of oil. Be very gentle and use the heavy 85 weight oil. If you do, just get it on the washers. Don't get it anywhere else. And if you put it on the lock bar, just on the lock bar itself, make sure it doesn't get everywhere. You don't want to get it on the back here of the tang of the blade and the lock bar where they engage, right? Because that's going to make it stick. I have no stick issues with my knives. They've been perfect, just so you know that. Okay, both of these guys have been perfect, right? So really, really fantastic knives. Just want to let you know that. Now put these O-rings back on. They just pop on like that. You can get different color ones. You can get black, you can get clear, you get blue, whatever you want. There's obviously different ones. It's nice because this makes it a little more quiet, I think. Or quieter, more quiet. I forget which is the correct word. I don't use that word a lot because I'm not quiet. But anyways, really, really fantastic. So I would definitely say EDC. I would definitely say hard use, and I would also say collection piece. Hard use as far as a liner lock can be. Just keep that in mind. All right, overall design, opening, closing textures. The texture is beautiful. This lizard skin is just, I love it. It's phenomenal. It's absolutely well done. Super comfortable, super nice. Going in and out of the pockets, just phenomenal. Feels great in the hands, slightly contoured, which gives it just wonderful grip. It gives you enough width to be able to turn the handle. Now this is a little smaller. This one feels really more comfortable in my hand. I really like the size of this one. That's why I'm keeping this one, and that's why I'm selling that one. I loved having it. It's just not getting used. So, but it's a great knife. I will tell you, if you like smaller knives and this is too big, you will love, 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 love this. That's why I think it's awesome to have both of these, because it really opens up the door for whatever size knife you like. It's a great knife, and if you like it, you have options. And even the Holy Nerd, that's really small. If these are really too big for you, my wife uses that. It's a little itty bitty bitty knife. It's like a little native 5, like a little native, like Spyderco or Baby Banter. It's about that size, but it's a great little knife. All right. Opening closing is beautiful, works really wonderful. The thumb studs close for phosphor bronze. It's nice. Flicks both front and reverse flick really well. It's very fidgety. I fidget with these regularly. Not this one, not that much. I'll go over to the case, pull it out, fidget a few times like this, and put it back. And that's really all I've ever done. That's why it's not really quite broken in yet, because it's hardly been used. It just kills me. But I wanted to review it. Both of them, compare the two. Right. I sort of did a pseudo review of the TRM years ago when I first started the knife channel, and they were, I don't even know what I was doing back then. Didn't really go into details, but I'll just tell you, I talked about the knife, but I don't go into details like I do here now. So this is probably the first really in-depth review I think I've done of this one. All right. The jimping. There's no jimping on the back, but it's nice and flat. The thumb studs do help give you presentation. It's really meant to be a slicer, not really a crazy work tool. The clip is nice. It is flexible, full deep pocket carry clip. Like I said, on the Neutron, you do get the option of a different clip, which I think is cool. No lanyard. Overall feel, I think, is phenomenal. It's phenomenal for what you get, for how thin it is. It's such a beautiful, 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 EDC to keep in your hand. It's in your pocket. It's such a small, thin, not huge, not heavyweight kind of EDC. I like it. I like it a lot. One thing I didn't do real quick, going back, let me just measure this, because we measured this one. This one was it 3 ounces? I think 3.2. 3.2. Yeah, 3.2. And so then this one was 4.1. So 4.1, let's do it again, center. Yeah, 4.1. And then we got 3.2. All right, so you can definitely see there's a little difference in weight. Definitely a good 30% more here, which makes sense because it's a much larger knife, right? Overall feel, opening, closing, I like it. I like it a lot, especially for phosphor bronze, but I also like phosphor bronze. I have Benchmades, I have Spydercos, all of those, Quiet Carry, their water or saltwater series, all of those are all phosphor bronze, and I really, really do enjoy them. So I think it's phenomenal. I think the action is fantastic. I think they're very fidgety. I really enjoy them. I use them quite a bit. So yeah, it's great. So what about the fidget factor scale? They're both about the same. I'm not sure which one. I like these thumb studs with the O-rings, but if I'm not going to do O-rings, I really like these the best. You just got to make sure you know this. It's a little bit like the Chris Reeve Unumzon or the large Sebenza. It's a little pokey there. I wish it was a little more stepped, but it works. It works. And being that as thin as it is, if you just get on top, it works really nice. If you try to get underneath here, or if you try to get down like that, then it's pokey. But if you get down here, follow this right, goes right in, works really nicely. Likewise for the reverse flick, works the same, right? So that is really outstanding. I think that makes it just really fantastic. So normally one deployment method, that would be just a single stud, but there's dual studs. So I'm going to give this a 4. Yeah, I'll give it a 4. I'll give them both a 4. Solid 4, which I think is great for what you get. It's consistent. The lock bar is really easy to get to. It's not tiring. It's not cumbersome. It's not uncomfortable. So yeah, a solid 4. Certainly a solid 4. And then also, what is the fidgety goodness? For what they do, for the 4, it's 100%. These are just outstanding. I've had my Atom for years. Now this is like the 4th one I think I've had of the Atom. Love the Atom. I kept this one because it's the Mike Irie hollow grind, right? The one I had before that was 3 years old, and I sold that one. But this is just a Mike Irie hollow grind, and it's Magnacut. So I thought, yeah, then this one's Magnacut as well. Again, a wonderful knife. If I only had one and I didn't have that, it'd be in my collection, right? Because I have this. This is the one I always carry. I reach for this, I get it, and then I pull this one out and I go, yeah, I'm gonna put this one in my pocket. This is the one I'm going to carry today. So this is why this one gets the pocket time. For me, I know many people who don't like this. It's too big. And so if that's too big, then the Neutron is absolutely outstanding. I think they're both outstanding, right? So we started off reviewing just the Neutron. We kind of got into the Neutron Atom, comparing the two kind of side by side. I think it's a good comparison, kind of seeing the difference in the size. Both of Fidji Goodness 100, they're both recommended. 100% recommended knives. I think if you get the basic G10, if you get the fat carbon, if you get the carbon fiber, the twill carbon fiber, the flat carbon fiber, you get the contoured carbon fiber, you get the titanium, smooth titanium, you get the textured lizard skin titanium. I think they're all fantastic. My favorite is the lizard skin titanium. This is a relatively new pattern. Well, it's been out for maybe a year, I think, maybe a little less, but it's a relatively new pattern. I really like this a lot. It's my favorite. I had the old striped one. There was lines. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But this gives you enough texture. It really feels good, solid in your hand. And that's what I really enjoy about this. It feels like I've got good control over the knife because of that. So yeah, absolutely 100% recommend it. If you have any questions about this, let me know. I'd love to hear your comments. If you have your own, what do you think about it? Let's go ahead and do a couple of little zoom in shots here. I'm going to zoom in. First, we're going to get our, what I guess I call this my, let's do this right here. We'll do something like this. Some people call it the thumbnail shot or the money shot, whatever you call it, whatever you want. I don't care. I'm just going to call it my thumbnail shot. All right, so let's do that. I think it's a beautiful knife. I think it's fantastic. All right, so let me zoom in on these here. I'm going to zoom in now. Oops, wrong way. All right, so let's look at the blade here on both of these guys. Full flat grind. It's got the TRM logo, very minimalistic. This has the sort of the round kind of conical that kind of goes in like that, and that's why the little O-ring, the 006 O-ring fixed right on there. And then this has the thumb studs, right? This is hollow grind. This is flat grind. All right. So let's go over here to the scale. Both very similar. One's just larger than the other. Both have the two screws that pops right off. Both have the same screws, T8s, T6s here, which is really nice. Both of these have standoffs. Now this one has the back spacer, but you can see the standoffs here, 3 standoffs. And then you have the stop pin, the lock, the open pin, and the lock bar pin. So close pin, I guess you can call it. Sorry. Both of them have the clip as well, so you can see that both are deep pocket carry clip. Comparing the two, one has a little hole, a little longer. This is a little shorter, a little stubbier, a little wider. Again, very similar design. It is a captive pivot on one side. These come right off, and there's liners underneath. Both of them are titanium liners, right? So, and if we look in here, we can both see the engagement. Both of these, this one's engaged at around a good 50%. This is engaged at probably a good, I want to say 70, 80%, which is typical for such a thin blade and a lock bar. That's very typical. Okay, so just don't think that's unusual or anything. All right, beautiful roundedness. One thing I really enjoy about these scales, it is chamfered or rounded all the way around. There's no sharp spots. There's no hot spots anywhere on this knife. It feels comfortable in hand. It doesn't bite you. It doesn't get you anywhere. Everything is knocked down. There's nothing sharp like that. Okay, so keep that in mind there. All right, so let's look at the back side of the blade. This is where they both have pretty much the same thing. TRM USA. Make sure you can see that. TRM USA Magnacut. One obviously is bigger than the other. One's hollow grind, one's flat grind. Very, very similar in many regards, right? And let's look at the blade stock thickness as we can see that up close. Let me get a nice side by side here. You can see they're both about 90 thousandths of an inch, which is 0.09 inches, so it's just under a 1/10 of an inch, right? So really cool. There's the pin, the blade stop pin, also the closed stop pin. Works as both. You can see the thumb studs right there as well. So really, really nice. Nice knife, I think, overall. I really enjoy this knife. I think you could do a whole lot worse getting any other knife, right? So I think this is just a beautiful, beautiful knife to have to your collection. Okay, so all right, recommend it. Wonderful knife. Let me know your thoughts on this knife. I'd love to hear you. Hey, if you found this content fun, interesting, worthwhile, and informative, would you please consider hitting the like button down below? And if you've already hit that like button, please consider hitting the subscribe button down below. Subscribing and liking the videos really helps out the channel, allows me to produce more content, do more things, ultimately do more things for you guys. So thank you to everyone out there who watches the videos, who likes the videos, who enjoys the content, who's part of the live streams, who leaves comments, who's just part of the community. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Also, a big, if you haven't already, hit that notification button down below as well, so you can be notified of future content like this and other videos. And a big shout out to all my channel members. I sure do appreciate you guys. Seriously, you encourage me when I need a little encouragement, kind of like a workout buddy going to the gym. You know, I don't do this full time. I do this part time, and you many times keep me going. So thank you for that. And the other thing, you also allow me to do things a lot sooner than I thought I'd ever be able to do. You help me cover like shipping costs and stuff when I check out knives, some of the giveaways. All my money goes into the giveaways and the channel, but you help for me to keep going and doing this thing. So I appreciate that very, very much. Thank you. Because you've been so generous to me, I want to be generous back to you. I do 2 exclusive things for my members. I do a once a month members exclusive giveaway. Every week I do a kind of a budget banger giveaway, but for the members every month I do a little nicer knife. It's definitely not a budget banger. Certainly a nicer knife than a budget banger, something that I hope y'all are interested in, to want to buy, to receive, to win, to give away, whatever. So I do that once a month, and it's my small way to say thank you because you are so generous to me. So thank you. The other thing is I also give a channel sticker out to all brand new channel members, or anybody who's been a channel member and currently is a channel member, whether you've been all along or became one again or are brand new. As long as you're a channel member right now, you've never gotten a channel sticker, email me with your name and address. I'd love to mail you a channel sticker. That's my small way to say thank you to you guys. And if you think, hey, I'd like to become a channel member just because Rob's cool, well, appreciate that. Or, hey, I'd like to win a free knife. Totally understand. Or, hey, I love that channel stickers. Gotta give me another sticker. Totally cool as well. Or I just want to support the channel. I appreciate that. There's a link down below in the description for 3 different tiers. I'd love to have you. Please don't ever feel obligated. Only do it if you want to. But I am very grateful, very appreciative of that if you do. Thank you to the channel members. Thank you to the subscribers. Thank you to all the viewers, everybody who enjoys the content, everyone who maybe gets a chance to put a little like button down there. I appreciate you. Thank you. I do very much want you to know I'm grateful. So if you haven't already, check me out on Instagram as well at Robs_nerdy_knives. Again, that's on Instagram at Robs_nerdy_knives. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day and a great week. Bye.